Yo, what's going on, guys? Reversal here, and today I'm going to be doing a dinosaur deck profile for the current format. This is a list that I've been messing around with for the past couple weeks, and it's ended up performing a lot better than I expected it to. Decided to mix the Nemesis build and the Xeno build with this list, and it actually offers a lot in terms of like just raising the ceiling of the deck, and some of like the weird hands you get, you can end up taking it a lot further because of like those extra cards you're playing. I don't know if this is like the best version to play the deck or not, but it's definitely been the most fun. So I'll show kind of like what the ceiling of the combo can be at the end with a specific 2-card combo. But a lot of the time with this version, you're just kind of picking which route you want to go down with like your normal 2-card combo. And then if you have like a third card, whether it's the Meteorus or one of the Nemesis cards or something, that could help you get a better end board. And then you could go into the other side through your regular combo. So I think it's pretty cool. Before I get into the video, if you're interested in this dinosaur playmat or these sleeves, check out finalsaga.de. And if you end up buying anything, use my code reversal10 for 10% off your order. It helps me directly. And they also have some other cool matte sleeves and stuff over there as well, as this Orica anime collection. Comes with like the deck boxes, the anime like style cards, these gold-plated God card field centers, and the anime sleeves as well. So they have some cool stuff over there. Definitely check them out. So that being said, let's get right into the profile. So this list is going to be 43 cards. Usually like to keep dinos at 42 or less, but decided to go one over for this one. It's not really a big deal though, to be honest. So for the monsters, we got 3 OV, 2 Archosaur, 3 Baby, 2 Petite, 1 Miss, 1 Rex. These are all standard. You can play Kaito instead of the Rex if you want. It doesn't really make a difference which one for the most part. 2 Conductor, 1 Pink, 1 Doggerin. The Doggerin's there because I'm playing a couple small worlds in the list, which I'll talk more about when we get there. But other than that, it's just like a decent going second card that's searchable by OV or small world if you need to. So it's not bad to have. The 1 Meteorus, 1 Frostosaurus for your Lars plays, and the Flagon Corridor for Colossus. So I usually don't like mixing these two together, but decided that I wanted to play the ground package instead of the diagram package, just because like Ground Xeno is still a little bit better than diagram is, even without Baron. So decided to just play both of them. It is more bricks than I would like to play in the deck, to be honest, but this version's been a lot of fun to play since you have like a lot more options when you're comboing. Like when you draw like any of these 3, it can like just help you do like a lot more things with your end board, whether you get hand trapped or not. So it's been cool having them all just in terms of like combo potential, but having the small worlds helps with the consistency for sure. Like since you have like these extra cards that you don't really want to draw. So in terms of like raw consistency, it's still been like pretty much the same as any normal dino list. So it's been fine for the most part. So for spells, we got 3 Fossil Dig, 2 Ground, 2 Lost World, 2 Pill, 3 Prosperity, and 2 Small World. So it's playing 2 Ground instead of 3 since I don't think it's like that good. It's like an okay extender. I don't think it's a good starter anymore without Baron, since your lines are like really fragile if you only have like Ground and a Baby, if you want to make like a real end board. I think 2 Lost World's fine. You don't really want to clog in this card. if you're playing like another field spell, you could play Terraforming, and that could be like the third Lost World pretty much, or Set Rotation, either one. Prosperity is still the best consistency card for this deck, and Small World's here, just because in this format there's a lot of hand traps. You really need to see Misk, and this card lets you see Misk more. And if you already have Misk, you could just search for whatever else you need, so that's why I like with these cards, like these are all on their own are not good to draw. Like the Meteorus is fine to draw, assuming you got to pop something already. And the Nemesis cards are good to draw, assuming you already have Misk, even if it gets negated. But if you don't have those things, these cards are all just bricks. So being able to small roll any of them out to get like a combo piece when needed is nice. And if you get rid of like one side, you could just do the combo for the other side. Like say you have to banish one of the like Corridor, for example, in order to like do anything. You could just go into your Meteor side of the things when you combo, and vice versa. So I think Small World's a good addition for this list in particular, just to get that extra consistency and see Misk more often. And then like you play the Doggerin and Pank, so like this card can get you one of those going second if like you have too much engine. So it's not bad. So for the non-engine, playing the one called by to help against hand traps, and then it's just a good disruption versus decent amount of decks in general, whether you go first or second. 3 Imperm, it's the best non-engine in the format in my opinion. Whether you want to play hand traps or board breakers, I think Imperm's worth playing. Then playing 2 Ash and 1 Ghost Spell to go with 2 Fenrir's. So the Ghost Spell is only here as a bridge to get from Fenrir to like a baby or Archosaur pretty much. But other than that, you don't really need to play it. You could just play the 3rd Ash and just not have a Small World bridge from Fenrir, but I think it's good to have one. If you don't have Fenrir's, you could just take these out and take the Bell out and then just add the 3rd Ash and then 2 Ghost Ogres, and that's perfectly fine as well. But yeah, these are all like good, and then post side you just put a bunch of board breakers in. But Fenrir is nice in this deck since it does give you itself plus a body. You can just combo off the Lost World in addition to it just being a good card, so big Fenrir enjoyer. That's it for the main deck. For the extra deck, we got Dolka, Lagia, Lars, the Banshee, Dweller, and Duaris. So that's it for the XCs. These are all like the same as usual for this build. I got the Anima for Link 1, Link Spider for when you get nibbed with the Banshee combo, the Abyss Actor Super Producer. This is used in the Banshee combo as well. I went over this in the last Dino video, so check that out if you haven't already to see how this card works. But the Pentastag, this card isn't mandatory, but it can help with just OTKing. The Reaper-Docus, you use this to get a non-Dino engrave in the large combo sometimes, and otherwise you use it for the flag to search for Eschatos or Protoss post side, and this can like turn that on, so it's good to have. And we got the Appaloosa, SP, Donner. This is for the Lost World combos when you just have 2 bodies. You could also play Cerberus instead of this if you want. The difference is this one loses the body, and this one you have to discard a card. So sometimes discarding a card is fine, and it's better to keep the body up. And sometimes it's better to just not lose that extra card. And Donner's better in those cases, so you can use whatever one. They're better than one another in different scenarios. Then we got the Colossus. This is for your Corridor, obviously. This card can sometimes just win games on its own, which is why I like it. But yeah, it's cool when like your miss gets negated and you don't have much going for you, but you have access to Corridor, and you could just slap a Colossus down for free pretty much. So that's always been good. And then some extra cards you could play if you take any of this out and find some space for is Typhon, Baguska, and Access Code. The Access Code can come up when you just need to clear some stuff in like main phase 2 or something. Baguska can be nice versus Shifter, then Typhon's just Typhon, so you don't necessarily need these and some of these other cards, but those are just like the best ones to play. So for the side deck, got the Shatos. You can play Frodos as well if you have it. I just haven't bought one since it's still like $25 for no reason. Then we got a couple Bystials. This is just mainly for like decks like Branded and stuff. Just playing all board breakers otherwise, but this is like the one type of hand trap I think is fine to play for some of those other matchups where they're not as good. And Magnuma can actually search a Shatos sometimes if you decide to like keep this card and go in second. Or side it and go in second against certain decks. Then just playing a bunch of board breakers. Storm, Duster. You don't need to play both of these, but you got Dark Rollers and Droplets. These are both good if you don't have one or the other. You could just, like, say you don't have Droplet, you could play Dark Ruler. I think not OTKing is fine with Dark Ruler a lot of the time, but sometimes you do need like the quick play. So I think Droplet's a more flexible card. I like to main deck Droplet more than siding it, but I just figured I'd mention it. And then we got Evenly Matched. I feel like this card's pretty slept on right now. It's good in a lot of different matchups. I think it's good against pure Snake Eyes, assuming they don't have like 3 hand traps in hand. Because like the Hope Harbinger board, this just clears pretty much every interruption they have except for one thing. So if you have like any other board breaker or something like that, you break their whole board no matter what pretty much. So you just have to deal with the hand traps at that point. But I think Evenly's pretty good. It's a little weird in Dino since you do want your battle phase for like Lost World sometimes, and then like Conductor can already wipe boards, but I think it's pretty good. Another board breaker I like a lot is Book of Eclipse. I think this is good against a lot of rogue stuff, especially. And if you do want to respect like Branded a lot, even though it's not the most popular deck, maybe it's popular at your locals, you can play Cosmics in addition to the Droplets and the Eclipses and the Bystials, since these two pair really well with the Cosmic against that deck, since you need to get rid of the Branded Lost to really use your board breakers, so something to consider. And then if you have Thrust, you could play like a small Thrust package of like Thrust, Change of Heart, Talents. You just want to make sure your board breakers all like pair well together. That's like the main thing with the board breakers. So, like if you're playing some that do like the same thing, or they're not like working off each other well, they're not really gonna do what you want them to do. So it's definitely just some cards you can consider. So now I want to just kind of show a 2-card combo that uses both of these engines together. Even though it's not like a super common one and it's relatively fragile, which is why I don't really like this card as a starter anymore. But if you have Ground plus Baby, it lets you kind of access both sides of the Meteorus and the Nemesis stuff. So I'm going to show that just to kind of show you how like it all works together. But if you open like a regular 2-card combo like Ovi Baby, you have to pick like which one of these you want on your end board, whether it's Lars or Colossus. I have combos for each variant already on the channel, so go back and watch those videos if you haven't, like if you're not familiar with these already. But yeah, if you don't open like the 3rd card to go with these two, like whether it's Meteorus or one of these Nemesis cards, you have to pick and choose. But if you open like 2-card plus any of these, or if you open Ground plus Baby, you can access both of these, which I'll show now. So you have this, you know, Ground, pop the Baby, Meteorus, Baby 1, Meteorus 2. Your Baby's gonna summon an Ovi, and your Ovi has to search for another Baby. So this is why I don't like Ground Xeno as a starter anymore. Before I would summon Misk here and go straight into Baron and then banish 2 with the Misk and then pop the baby with Baron. It was a lot safer. But now you don't really have a choice if all you have is the 2 cards. You have to search for the baby if you want to end on like a real end board. Otherwise, you could add Misk here, banish it, banish 2 for a baby, and then just Meteorus pop, and then you end on rank 4, rank 6, which is like safer into cards like Nib. But I'm of the opinion that I'm just going to disrespect Nib at that point because that's not really a really good end board. So in that case, you search the baby, summon it, OB, pop baby, bring back the other one, baby, summon Misk from deck, and you're going to overlay these 2 for the Banshee, and then detach the Misk with the Banshee, and then now you can use your Misk to search the flag. Archosaur, pop the baby, add pill, and then baby's gonna summon another baby. So you can use your Nemesis flag, put the Misk back in deck, flag your corridor. So from this point on, you have a couple different things you can do, but we're going to link off the Archosaur and the Banshee for Reaperdocus. This is just to get the Infernal Flame Banshee in graveyard, because you can use your pill to banish this and a Dino, and then summon UCT from deck. And since the Banshee was banished while you have the flag on the field still, this just comes back. So now you have a 3 material Appaloosa right here. And then your banished Dino. So here you want to use your corridor, put back the Dinosaur that you banished, and then you could use the corridor to go into Colossus, and now you're going to use your Meteorus to pop the baby, summon Frost from deck, and then the baby is going to summon a Petite. So you could have just summoned Petite before instead of the baby, and then just had this summon a Pank instead. But this way it gives you a free card you can pop with the Conductor, so you're gonna overlay these 2 for the Lars. So your end board off just ground plus baby is 2 enemy negates, 3 monster negates, a Colossus, a Conductor, and then the Conductor can flip the Petite, or pop the Petite to summon a Pank from deck if you need an additional pop, or if you don't need that, you can summon an OV here instead, and OV can add you the Misk that you put back, so you have this for next turn. So you have a couple different options, but if you want the max disruptions, then you'd summon Pank here, and then that would be a total of 5 negates, a Book of Eclipse, a Floodgate, and a pop. So it's a lot of disruptions. It's 8 if you want to like count them individually, but it's a lot off 2 cards, and it's like it's a cool way to like kind of bridge everything together. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Like I said, I don't know if this version's like the best way to play the deck or not, since it is like extra bricks, but it's definitely a lot of fun to play with, since like you can end on shit like this depending on what your hand is. So definitely give it a try. It's been consistent enough for me. It's like a little over 80% in terms of like raw consistency, and then you're seeing like 3-card combos or like a combo that has Misk at least like half the time, so it's not bad. Definitely give it a try. Let me know how it goes for you, and that's it. Peace.